many, marital or intimate rape is something that is unheard of. Zimbabweans find it difficult to understand that there can be a rape between intimate partners, with women as the most affected. People cannot understand that a married woman has the right to say no to sex, that she can tell her partner that she is not feeling like being intimate in that moment. This, however, affects men too. We want to understand what it is that causes marital rape and how one can deal with marital rape. In the studio today, I have Madame Rumbidzai Zimudzi from Adult Rape Clinic to help us understand the phenomenon of marital or intimate rape. Rumbi, zvinofamba sei kuti tizosvika pakuti there is intimate or rape in a marriage?
Okay. Thank you for having me on the show. And also, this is a very, I don't know if I can say difficult topic, but it's good that we're talking about it anyway. So when we talk of rape, for starters, this is when there is sex where one is forced, there is no consent, so you realize that when we bring it to the context of marital, it means it's happening into a marriage, or if it's in an intimate partner relationship whereby someone is in a relationship, boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, some people are cohabiting, and in those relationships, unfortunately, people believe that sex is a right. Yes, it is, but then consent should actually always be there as well.
Is there anything called a right to sex?
So the problem in this whole discussion comes when there is someone being forced. When you then force someone, yes, you've got a right, but how exactly are you getting this right?
Yeah.
People feel entitled, especially in marriages. She's my wife, he's my husband. I mean, so why not? But consent. So I think the word that we need to take home, the take home is about consent. Have we agreed?
I think there was a time I had a guest who actually spoke about how there is the issue of expectations in a marriage, where I'm thinking, I married you because I have an expectation for sex, exactly, and the vice versa. And so when I then don't get it, so for example, if it's perpetual, every day the same with a husband. Husband pamakutochita kuita maentanglement kunzokwandika aita maentanglement kumba yatongova varume vatombonyepi zvemusoro madzimai ndo atori neketese kuti ndodzoka musoro kana zvatoreta rumbi kuvarume vanotongo inenge tongoti rafu wotozoti hakuna saka munhu anotozomanikizoti ndane frustration because pamwe anenge akuti chi I am not frustrated nababa vari kungopinda every day.
No, I get you and I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, because I think this is actually where a lot of it is coming from.
Yes, definitely. But that being said, I think we need to appreciate when these issues are said, people need to talk in relationships to say, you know what, you've been coming home 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week later, and each time you're complaining about a headache. What is wrong? Is this a real headache? Is it that you do not want to have sex with me? I think there should be room for dialogue in marriages. Besides the fact that, yes, the rights are there, but let's talk about things. I think this is where the issue, one of the songs there, talk about it. What is causing? Because honestly, there is no woman who's in love with her husband who's going to always refuse to have sex.
I say amen to that. Yes. A lot of women, but then a lot of women will never refuse their husband's sex, right? If the husband, so usually for women, I'll speak for women, and if there's a guy who wants to come on show and speak to me about themselves, you're welcome. But a lot of women, varume avaspunza mari kumba, avasutenga chikafu, munhu asikutenga chikafu aspunza mari, asku pamari kutoita futi entanglements arikona mwana sisi kunzo. Oya mbada kuti ngatiite futi, amaya pamwakazvibata. Kuti kune mamwe ma situationships ari kunzo voti kanga tichishandisa protection baba voramba protection pozo daro zvofamba sei rumbi.
Okay, so I think what we also need to say is when a rape in any given situation, whether it's in a marriage or it's in an intimate partner relationship, when rape is there, it should at least, you need to reach out to someone.
Right.
And by reaching out, whether you're coming to us as Adult Rape Clinic, whether you're going to your sister, tell someone, talk about it with someone, whether you're going to, but you also need to be careful about just always telling people about these intimate issues. But I mean, reaching out can mean counseling.
Yeah.
And from that counseling, people can get to the root of the problems. So in this day and time when COVID-19, and men have not been going to work, or women have not been going to work, so the issues of not having money, not having food, those are real issues. But they then shouldn't really then impact people's sex life. So I think they'll all go back to, let's talk about issues in our homes, in our marriages, in our families.
Rumbi, I also want to throw in something like, Panama marriages are totally damaged, are sometimes beyond conversations as we speak. Ukaona kakawanda kacho ni Rumbi, vanapa kusvika pakuti ati chada zvebonde tese. Mumwe munhu anenge achingopinda achijika nekubuda. Kutotaurana chako chako kunoita nyonga kana kuti the moment mukadzi anoti panoti ngatitaurei baba izvi. And also I think the other problem that I feel exists that you may help us, how especially as adult rape clinic you're dealing with the situation, is a lot of our men are not prepared to talk about their problems. So sometimes when there is no bonde mumba, maybe babari the one who is affected, maybe many male problems. First of all, our society is not talking about men, or it's not telling men that you can actually reach out to a male clinic or you can go to a male clinic. And sometimes they are not prepared to talk about nyanyadze dzekutizvoni avasikunzwa moshe kunoongororwa. And sometimes Rumbi inenge nyaya yekuti pamwe baba wakatobatwa neutachiwana kana kuti infections, and obviously he means well to protect his wife, but the wife does not know. My conversation, then you find kuti vanobuda makusena chino but vanodya vobuda makusena chino basi vodzoka manheru vodya pamwe sometimes vatotodzoka vanhu varara. Saka dialogue sometimes pane pastori ina.
Okay. So that being said, in the event that this woman, let's say maybe she then reaches out to us, we have a department of psychologists.
Right.
And I will really emphasize the importance of counseling. So it's not always about, I know when people talk about marital rape, people are worried to say, if I report him, he's my husband. So I want to say it's not always about reporting. It's also sometimes about even reaching out to psychologists, out of rape clinic psychologists, where you stay in your community, in your church. There are people that can then counsel you. They talk about these issues. So what is causing this? And then for men, we now have places like Padare, which is a safe space for men to talk about things. And I understand even in some churches or at the beer hall, there are places where men meet. And I'm hoping, even by listening to this, the fact that there are programs that are just talking about it is also taking it out there. So you know what, men can always talk either to other men, because maybe it's difficult to open up to women. But in terms of programming these days, you'll find out that males are involved in a lot of discussions, and we really want men to come forward and talk about. Sometimes they are actually the ones that are abused. So we encourage them to come forward.
Oh wow. On that note, we want to come back and understand the abuse of men, because definitely I think platforms like this must have balance, right? Yes, we know a lot of in many circumstances, because of how women are built, like they usually are not as powerful as men. They are often at the receiving end of rape and abuses, but there are also men that are being raped, that are being aggravatedly sexually assaulted. So we want to know that when we come back from this break, so don't go away, stay with us. So welcome back to your paper show, Identities, Umhlobo. Today I have Rumbidzai from Adult Rape Clinic, who's telling us about intimate and marital rape, and we've already gathered that sometimes men are also vulnerable, which I want to go back to Rumbi to explain that murku accuse vakazi kuti takukwanisa kukochomora varume titoti imi baba shkopa sei Rumbi.
Yes, so we've actually got survivors who walk into our clinic reporting that they have been assaulted sexually. According to the law, it's referred to as aggravated indecent assault. Yes. Because rape, like I said, involves penetration, and though it's only against women. Yeah. But then sometimes when it's men on the receiving end, it's there, yes. And we actually need to talk about it, because men shy away because they will say, no, you can't report it, I'm a man, I'm supposed to be macho. But for mothers,
and also maybe kutochika kutoti zvinganzi uri murumeridzi anotoramba bonde,
and you see now. And yet that day I will not have consent. I will school down, you're not feeling well.
And maybe we don't suspect that may have kufamba kwa vanhu kunzwisisa ndoda kuzviprotecta until I reach pamwe mimi story na protection mbamuya apa uru nema entanglements aripo mazuva ano munhu wese angori entangled left, right and center. Saka pamwe mai nzira dzava dzina kunaka unotoda kutanga utoti timboita counseling kana tinoongororwa, but please
You see that? So even in intimate partner relationships, you realize that at the end of the day, it's a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and we can't run away from the issue. You might be 10. So sometimes there's this older woman who's probably more experienced, and this young boy, maybe it's a university student, you know, adolescents sometimes will get entangled with older women because of the packs of such relationships.
Yes.
But at a certain point,
but also because of their own will, one that will experiment and mature and experienced women. It's not just about
there is victims, that, and then the packs, I guess, are the icing on the
course,
cake.
the money.
So when that happens, and then at some time this young man or boy realizes, no, I don't want, or today I do not feel like it, we then get situations whereby sometimes this person is sexually abused. So yes, the men are there, and unfortunately, because we are power forward is a bit difficult, but they're being abused, and we encourage them to come forward.
Right. So I love the fact that you already mentioned that men are affected, and in this intimate or in marriages, and we're talking about it. I just also wanted to find out that which demographics are we looking at? Vakadzi ndo vakawandere, varume ndo vakawandere, mazera api?
Okay, so according to our statistics at the Adult Rape Clinic, we are getting more women coming forward, young girls, the youth. So in fact, about 60 to 70% of our survivors are actually adolescents. This is your age group between 10 to 24-year-olds. Yeah, it's usually a boyfriend, we're the same age, we're the older, and then the males come. But maybe like we're saying, they're not yet confident enough to talk about it. But I'm hoping by having programs like this, they're encouraged to come forward. But it's not to say they're not being abused. It's just that they're probably not able to come forward, and because they're shy or they're afraid of what society will say. So I think even as a people, we need to encourage the males, the young boys, to report sexual violence.
I do think that what you said earlier on, that if we can have male champions, you know, who have gone through it, who are brave enough to come and talk about it and to inspire other men and boys to speak out about it. And I think it just kind of tilts a lot of the power that men have to be. You mentioned the word machismo or machoism, and a lot of men feel the pressure to saying, I can't go and report because I am expected to be the powerful, to be the abuser. And I think that's also kind of continue perpetrating. That is also part of the problem, where women continue being violated, where girls and women continue, you know, experiencing rape, experience beating, because men have been brought up to think that it's okay for them to be violent. And when a woman is being violent towards a man, they actually think that no, it has to be me violating. So I think if we create a culture of speaking out, if you've ever survived violence as a man, we would love to hear from you. You're welcome on Identities, so that we talk about these things. And also, we note that we're undermining the fact that women and girls are abused more because of their physical, because obviously men have more power. But maybe what is it that you'd say to a man who is watching right now and has gone through violence, in terms of their own psychological mindset as well as the people around them?
Okay, so we're encouraging men to at least reach out to someone. People might think because I'm sitting here, I'm saying, can you come to the Adult Rape Clinic? No, just maybe even tell a friend, tell your brother, talk to someone, go to another place. Like I mentioned before, I know, unfortunately, I only know of Padari as a place where it's a safe place. I know men can talk about these things, but not even to start with men. Can we start even with our young boys, because they will grow into the men. So for mothers out there who've got sons, talk to your children, tell them about these things, tell them what being violated means, and then that generation, you know, will be able to come forward and report such issues and get help. And these days, because we're in COVID-19, there are restrictions to travel, people can give us a call. We're on Facebook, we're on WhatsApp, you can text a message. Maybe people don't want to actually come physically, but reach out using these various platforms and we can talk about it.
So that is so much empowering powerful information to say, as men, you can have, you can also get assistance from adult rape clinic. We've also heard about Padare. We have a lot of organizations within your communities, and most of the NGOs, to be honest, they've been trained somewhat in being able to assist, to just be listening. And I think one of the key and profound things that you've said, Rumbi, is that this is just not about reporting. This is about getting help.
Yes,
because a lot
definitely.
of people are intimidated, and so they continue being harassed and abused. And also men are not forthcoming. For example, if the wife goes and gets help, the man is afraid because they are afraid of being arrested. Over and above arresting, yes, if you commit a crime, you must be arrested.
Yes, true.
But should your wife feel like we are more interested in getting our help to be sorted out, men should actually want to come and get counseling, knowing that you're also being prevented from going to jail. Because if you continue with that kind of behavior, you're going to do a very, it gets worse and worse, and then the next thing you're beating her up to the extent that even you can't control the need for her to report, and then you're going to go to jail. We're coming back after this break. We continue to understand how and what kind of help is existing for such people who suffer intimate or partner rape. Do stay with us. Welcome back to your favorite show, Identities, Umhlobo, where today we're talking about marital or intimate partner rape, which we've already had that the most affected are women and girls and adolescent girls. We've also heard that men and boys are also affected, in that men and boys usually do not want to come and report. And I also made an invitation to say, if you're a man and you've suffered this, please come and share us. If you're a survivor, you've gone through it, and you're now a survivor, we need men who are telling other men who are male champions as well. Sorumbi, Ntinyaru, cannot ndi Georgina, apina mo office me. Ndrukudo help. Would you please counsel me?
Okay. Thank you, Nyari, for coming to the Adult Rape Clinic today. We're happy that you've even just gathered the courage. My name is Rumbidzai, and it's good that we know each other. And you're free to call me Rumbidzai, and I'll call you Nyari, and we go along with the session. Please feel free to know that it remains in these walls. It's about us. I'm not going to then tell the next person, but to give you the best possible care and advice we can. But we also want to know that you're free to talk to us. We're not even going to be in a place to be asking you a lot of questions. Tell us what you feel you want to tell us, and then we can see how best we can help you. We're not going to be judging you to say, that's not our place. We're also going to give my tests akuti tionoti hauna utachiwana wa HIV here, hauna here pamuviri, hauna zvirwere zvepabonde, and tinopa mishonga zvakare yekudzivirira pamuviri, mishonga yekudzivirira HIV, mishonga yekudzivirira zvirwere zvepabonde. And all these services are going to be for free. So do not worry about the cost of services. We also then have, I'm a midwife, I'm a counselor, check my examinations. Asi zvakare tine ma psychologists. And above all, thank you so much for just coming along to our show.
Wow, guys, let's give it for Ruby. Ndakakubvunza kuti saka zvandiri kukudza nyaya yangu yamuda ndikudza imi muzara nhasi, hamusi kuzodza murume wangu here, hamusi kuzodza vamwani here, kana kuti vamunoshanda navo, kana kuti munomboenda paTV, hamusi kuzobudisa nyaya dzangu paTV here. And zvakadaro, kana ndiri to blame kuti ndakarepwa kwacho ndachimborambawo kumupa bonde murume wacho.
Before you even go forward, to blame and you can never be in the same sentence when there's rape. You can never be to blame because you've been violated. So you are our survivor here. Say yes, it should be considered in counseling because you need to go on with your life. But that's not to say please never blame yourself. The idea is for you to then, you know what, you are violated. How best can you go on with your life? Kana iwewe uchinge watendera kuti izoudza kati but zvatinotaurana zviri pakati pedu tiri vaviri kana kuti neumwe wanoshandawo muno zvichibatsira iwewe asi zvekuti tichaenda paTV tichaenda paredio tichinokurukura nyaya yako aiwa. We really consider and appreciate nyaya yekuti unoda confidentiality, and it's one of the key things that we value as an organization. So yes, these issues are confidential unless if we maybe to refer you to another service, legal, justice, mapurisa, because tinoshanda navo ndivo vamwe pamwe watingazotaura nyaya yako navo asi it's in the confines still of confidentiality kune vanhu ivavo.
Mambotaura imimi kuti mapurisa amuvaudzi ina handisikuda kuripota nyaya yangu mapurisa memoitaurire kumapurisa.
No, it's still okay. So like I'm saying, kana tichitaurirana kudai tinoda kuti tizivisane nzira dzose dzatingafambe nadzo. Kana chinhu chichinge chaitika, rape is a crime. That I cannot really say in any different way. But being a crime, it's now up to you. When you've been informed, this is a crime, you then decide, because you need to decide. This is about you. You are the important person here, so you need to decide, do you want to report? And if you don't, it's okay. An excellent service because you do not want to go to the police. No, we will still do the test that I've mentioned. We will still give you the medication that we have mentioned, and we will refer you. If you decide to say, I'm not ready, it's really okay. Still the help,
Wow, that's wonderful. I hope you're understanding, guys, here that we are doing a little skit so that can only problem yaonayo which don't know traga adult rape clinic urimkuinda through the rape or any other forms of gender-based violence. They are there and taweta kaskita makamira sei mu counseling match andika ashiskroti nyari ateka dambudziko aiwa yanga ngori nyaya kuti muone kuti ukaenda ku counseling vanokusimbisa nditi kuti aisi mhosva yako vagokusimbisa kuti aiwa zvatiri kutaura muno hazvisi kuzobuda munhu umwe chete kana vaviri vachodzo ndeve panokuorganize chinhu kuti rumbi akamuka achirwara pane mumwe anogona kukubatsira anditi karumbi and so ini ndinonzwangu kuita kunge maservices enyu anoita kuti munhu acalme down anzwe kuti kune veukama vasingamujaji kunze uko varipo panguva yematambudziko yenyika.
So Chipinam Adult Rape Clinic, as you come in, there's counseling, which we think is a major component of all this, of abuses. We need to then know, how are you feeling about all this? People are stressed, some are distressed, some are shy, some are traumatized.
And some are actually contemplating suicide.
Yes. So many of them. Saka kuti munhu achinge atozokwanisa to gather up the courage, the confidence to come to us, that's a very huge step. That is why we're calling them survivors. So counseling is one of the major services that we offer. And then outside counseling, we offer medical services, where I was telling you that we then provide tests, HIV testing, because we take it that a perpetrator is someone who's reckless. Some of them do not even use condoms, and we want to avoid for the survivor to then get HIV. So we'll test for HIV, and for the females, we'll test for pregnancy. We'll do a pregnancy test, and then we'll also just screen for sexually transmitted infections. After all these tests, what do? We give medications to prevent the person then, especially. So what needs to be very clear is we encourage people to report early. When we're actually teaching in schools, we'll tell the young kids taura at that very time. So we're going along. If you're following us on our page, you'll see we've got a hashtag 72.
On your social media platforms.
Yes, on our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook. We're talking about hashtag 72. What does this mean? It means within 72 hours, can you get either to ARC? We're now in Gokwe, Kadoma, we're in Mashingo, or to any other health facilities that is near you within 72 hours, because that is when this medication will work. Because 10 days, 20 days, maybe you're already pregnant. So we really emphasize the need for people to report early, please.
Well, that's great. And I was going to ask about the communities that you are districts are.
Yes.
All right, other than adult rape clinic, regarding the government, mamma structures appear kuti munakanga itwa marital or intimate rape, or even just rape nje which don't report. Which other platforms or structures exist to assist a rape survivor?
So for some survivors, they'll actually say, Nasi Sekuti, it's your child, Ndrimba Mango, I'm a mother, and my child tells me, the help, I cannot the gardener or the neighbor, Andy Bata. Some people will start with the police. We work with the victim-friendly unit, and we actually encourage people. We do not force or prescribe, but we do encourage. So run or go to the nearest police station, and we work with them very closely. Victim-friendly unit, because people always say, I'm a police, but the victim-friendly unit will work with you. They will refer you to
trained for such
cases. They are trained for such cases. The victim-friendly unit will then refer you, or sometimes they even escort you to the nearest health center. It's not everyone who's near. Yes, we encourage people to come to the adult rape clinic, but my government institutions, they've got the service, these packages. And then that being said, for some children, Panda Social Services, we work with the Department of Social Services. Panda is legal, we work with lawyers. So the referral system is in that, because we've said rape is a crime, where best can we refer? And then it's marital, it's intimate partner. We're referring maybe for marital counseling. So we work with counselors as well. So for pregnancy, we're now referring you to a hospital to book that pregnancy if you're keeping it, or for termination if it's being terminated. So in terms of the pathway, it's either you're starting with the police if you want to, or you're just starting with the clinic for medical services, and then we refer you.
Angari Mafaruk Tandara Newe Rumbi. It's a marital and intimate partner rape. We do hope that is Identities Umhlobo. We are always very happy to host such conversations that are very important in our communities. And I do want to believe that you got some help. Do not be afraid to reach out. Even as you saw, we were putting other rape clinic contacts throughout the show, and even our show contact numbers. Use them, reach us on WhatsApp. Tinokupai my directions, tinokupai kuti oenda kopi obatsirikanani. Sometimes tinoku refers, but don't stay locked down with an abuser, whoever you are, whether you're female or a male. We're here to help. Adult Rape Clinic is here to help. Many organizations are here to help. Government institutions are there to help. Until next time, Umhlobo family, keep safe, stay away from COVID. Have a good one. Hey Umhlobo family, thank you for joining me today. Let's keep talking. Join our social media platforms and tell us how you're beating COVID-19. Tell us your stories. What's happening in your communities? Is everything okay? Reach us on our WhatsApp numbers, text numbers, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube channels. Tell us about the good, the ugly, the funny, the talents, the skills you developed during this time. For families or couples, tell us the most funny or unbelievable thing you learned about your partner or your child or your family. You may find yourself on our TV show the next time, or you may win a cool prize from us if we like your story. Remember, write in proper spellings. No shorthand accepted. Ciao!